But right now, we'll be shifting into our second group of interviewees. Um, Maybe PZ can introduce the first one.
Yeah, okay. Now the next group of interviewees are missionaries, and there are three of them. Two of them are in, I would call, sensitive, because it's another religion. The countries they're in actually dominated by another religion. And so for purposes of security and wisdom, we are using their pen names, in a sense, another name. And one of them is serving in the Middle East. One of them is serving in ASEAN country, which is basically dominated by another religion. And then the third one is identifiable because she's there as a missionary in Indonesia. All right. So the first one is serving in the Middle East. Okay. And we will call her Miss Zheng. All right. Miss Zheng. I've known Miss Zheng for a long time, and we have served together. Miss Zheng had a burden for the Middle East, and she went to a very strategic country in the Middle East to serve, especially among refugees. There are millions and millions of refugees there. And then she came back and for a holiday and couldn't go back to her mission base because of COVID. And so right now she's serving, I think, even more effectively because she can't go back. So welcome, Ms. Zheng, to our session. Can you tell us a little bit about your ministry, all right, before the COVID situation? Is Ms. Zheng there?
Yes. Hello, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, PC. Yep.
Yeah,
so thank you for this opportunity to share. So the situation that was before COVID, I spent a significant period of time in the Middle East serving the refugee communities. So I was in the learning center with an international team, whereby we actually very strategically placed ourselves in the area where the majority of the refugees are staying. So we immerse in their culture, we learn about their worldview, and also mastering their language. So back then, my focus was teaching English and also discipling the older children in the learning center. And we also spent time going around, meeting other workers on the ground, understanding their work, networking, and also doing home visit at the camp. So having spent this period of time, we understand that there are actually many needs, especially English and the refugee wanting to also acquire new skill set. And having said that, their spiritual, emotional, and physical needs are actually a lot. So we need to balance, having a solution that are able to meet these needs, and also they are sustainable, transferable, and also scalable. And importantly is to show love in action. So just like what PC has shared, I came back to Singapore. I met up with various people, we prayed, and also remembering what you say, with us, that to find our sweet spot in the Lord for His work. So I was led by the Holy Spirit towards the direction of a digital initiative, because we believe that technology can be used to develop people holistically. And in this 21st century, we need to leverage on technology in order for us to actually spark a movement of empowering communities in the various parts of the world. So, and it's only through technology we are able to meet the millions of refugees. I mean, there's only one person. I only have like only a certain number of team members, but how do we even meet the needs of all the millions of refugees in the Middle East region? And the only solution is through technology. So with this plan, I was ready to go with this digital initiative, but COVID hit us. The country that I was going to was locked down. Schools, religious activities were closed, and everyone is staying at home. So the military was actually patrolling the street, like what all of us are going through. God closes the flight door, but He opens the browser window. I mean, if you get what I mean, Yeah, so COVID disrupted my plan, but it has also accelerated the work. So in order for me to stay connected, we have been all teleported to the virtual space. And the locals were very willing to try downloading new apps like Zoom to stay connected. So what I'm doing now is actually using technology to stay connected with the refugee in the Middle East. And technology has no physical boundary. So instead of like a specific location, it has expanded my reach to various parts of the Middle East. So instead of like a one single learning center, I'm like traveling, in various places within the country and even across the country as well to other places. So it seems like I have traveled in the digital space.
Very good. Thanks, Ms. Chen. Now, tell us, like, they are refugees and you're talking about them having technology. Now, is that, I mean, we are already struggling with non-refugees. I mean, the poorest people on earth are refugees. They have no country, no nothing, right? Are you telling me that you are trying to reach refugees in some of the most ragged, miserable camps in the world with technology? Does it make sense?
I think it really makes sense because for the refugee, when they actually left their hometown because of war or persecution, they're being separated like from their own family members. Let's say, for example, some are in part A and they have been forced to travel to other parts. And in order for them to stay connected, there's one thing that they need to have and must have, and that is the mobile phone. So I would say what I have recognized is that, they are willing to invest in a mobile phone in order to stay connected. And we could leverage on this so-called tools that is in their hand that they have.
All right, but then what about the Wi-Fi in the refugee camps?
The Wi-Fi is actually, I would say, not very strong. So what we have done is to adopt a new method of actually blessing them, which is to give them what we call like a mobile router, so that we actually top up and we say that, okay, we are going to bless you with this. But in return, perhaps we could just stay more connected. We could actually maybe spend more time. Let's say, can you help us with this particular, let's say, for example, the photography, so-called YouTube channel that we are thinking of doing, so as to empower and reach out to this group of refugees. And in fact, the turnout, the response was actually very good. Because
All
we're
right,
actually giving them Wi-Fi.
Are you saying that you are also empowering the refugees? I mean, asking them that if I give you a mobile router, then you do some translation work for me or you do something for me. Is that what you are saying, that you are empowering them to?
Yes, correct. We are actually, in fact, some of the digital initiative that we are doing right now is also leveraging on technology application like Zoom. So what we did was that we actually have a cultural exchange with young people. We get these refugees on board the Zoom to meet with young people from all over the world. And they were so excited because it's like they have traveled to another country, getting to know them as well. And from there, we try to also build friendship, do life on life with them.
All right, Ms. Cheng, tell us, because, all right, your obviously Arabic is not that great. English, how feasible is it to reach out to people? Of course, you are obviously using English as a tool now. Are there a lot of people who speak English or are interested in English?
Yes, there are actually people who are very interested and wanting to know English because most of the world, in order for you to travel around, you need to know English. So just now when PC, you talk about empowering the local community, we also get them on board to develop this English content together. So we are not going to think of certain so-called curriculum that we think is best, but we are going to say, hey, why not you come on board with us? Tell us if this is what we are developing. Is it good? And I have many suggestions that is actually suggested by the refugee. Maybe we should do this, do that. And they have kindly to say that, okay, we will do the translated, the version from English to their own language.
So you are saying that many of these refugees, and there are like 20 million right now, many are highly educated. Is that what you're saying, Ms. Cheng?
I would say they are actually, it varies. There are certain group that are actually not educated, but they are very motivated to learn. While there are some that are actually highly educated, but they will also like to look for other skill set. So we also need to find like a balance between these two to find, a sweet spot for the both of them to learn new skill set and also to learn English.
Right. Also, besides giving a mobile router to them, what else have you done to help them be more connected? Is there something you have done? Some camps may be super remote.
So what we did was that, like just now I shared regarding the Zoom, we also get them to say, okay, if your friend is willing to join, can you gather in one tent? So that they could share, the Wi-Fi together. And so far we have about maximum 2 that they actually gather in the tent who are serious to learn, who are serious to meet as well. And we also, because in the Zoom meeting, because we are in a sense being physically distant, right? But what we did was we tried to also mimic what we could possibly do on Zoom, which is like, for example, playing games, like guessing Pictionary, things like that. It has actually brought us to transfer us from being able to play this game in a physical ground to online space. And in fact, they actually liked it very much. And some of them, they were actually asking me, when can we meet again, So the next round that we are going to run is more on empowerment. How can you be the change agent in your community? How can we bring in peace and education among the young Middle Eastern leaders as well?
Wonderful. Right. Would you say, Ms. Zheng, that COVID has been a blessing to your missions work rather than a hindrance?
Yes, I would say so when I looked back, because how perhaps this is why the purpose of the conference, whereby a lot of us are actually maybe scared to even explore further into technology, but with this COVID, it has pushed us into a perspective to really be able to not be scared, because I would say that so long as you know how to use your mobile phone, you are tech savvy, you're able to reach the world, so don't be scared, but really just allowing that to actually use it to your benefit. They're able to really reach the millions. So I would say COVID has blessed, because I know it to change their mindset now. They're more willing to take up and adopt technology.
Also, would you say that it has encouraged more people who couldn't go to the mission field? Not everyone's like you, your parents allow you to go to this dangerous place, stay there. Your church allows you to, to support you there. But would you say that COVID has also allowed many more people to be missionaries right where they are?
Yeah.
Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, it is actually a totally fair statement. In fact, I was really blessed because like a group of young adults from our church has also stepped up, to really come together to launch like this digital classroom on YouTube. So we have come together to discuss, we have come together to also leverage on one another's skill set. And this group of young adults have also met the refugee in the Middle East. So it's like we are all together on a mission trip.
So in other words, instead of you dragging them on expensive mission trip, which literally costs tens or many thousands of dollars to go to the strange place you're in, you can bring like unlimited number of people on a mission trip now. Is that a fair statement too?
Yes, it is a fair statement. I think this has also opened up doors for them to be interested, for them to really say, hey, maybe I should, take a look at to see what are these people in the Middle East, what are they doing, how are they like, what are their culture like. And I think we have also feedback that, hey, it's my first time meeting them, but I didn't know that they were so friendly, they actually able to engage in conversation as well.
Do you see this, Ms. Zheng, as a totally new type of ministry for you in the future, that you're not going to go there and, just minister to one camp, but you could probably be a missions coordinator of a whole new army of thousands of missionaries who are sitting in the Philippines or sitting in Singapore, Indonesia, reaching such people? Do you see that? I don't know. I've never...
Yeah, I think now with COVID, I would say that maybe anything is possible. Yeah, so I guess so long as we are having this attitude of wanting to leverage on technology and be able to see how we can use it to coordinate, to bring, love in action, the hope to the people, I think it is possible. This might be even perhaps a new norm. I'm not sure as well.
Do you hope to see COVID end or hope to see COVID continue?
Wow, this is a tough question because there are people suffering and I do not know. I think, hopefully this will at least come to I would say a stable situation. Yeah.
And a new normal.
Yes,
a stable,
and a new normal.
healthy new normal situation. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Zheng, for spending time with us. I think this is a whole new insight for many of us who always think that missions, you have to say bye-bye to your mom and dad and go there and spend tons of your church's money to plant one little church in one little refugee camp. All right. I think Ms. Zheng has shown us that without spending $1, we could reach out, to lots of people. Right. Thank you very much, Ms. Zheng. Yeah.
Thank you.